Hello everybody and welcome back to Driversroom Sunday League. We're at round number 3 at the famous Brazilian circuit Interlagos. I don't actually know the full name of it, but everyone knows it as Interlagos. Today we are racing in the Garage RCR Civic, a very tuned up version of the normal Honda Civic on sports soft and sport medium tires. Both are required in this race. That is the information for today's race. No other shenanigans. It's a thirsty car, so strategy will be a big part of this race. Now let's not wait any longer and go to the grid order of today's race. On pole position for today we have Claren. He has put his car on pole. And we'll start from the good side on the grid and the least distance away from turn number 1. So hopefully he can hold on to that lead going into turn number 1. Next up alongside him is Mr. Sean. He qualified second. We'll contest Claren into turn number 1. Then it is Urk in third place, with Spo in fourth place for today. Too Fast is in fifth place, with Flappy in sixth for this race. Mark GT will start from 7th place, with M. Mercer in 8th place. Then it is Mickey who starts from 9th position on the grid. And last but not least we have Low Power. He starts at the back of the grid. He starts from 10th place. Now that is the grid order of today's race. Let's see what this race will bring us.
All 5 lights are on. And they're out and away we go. Urk doesn't get a great getaway from 3rd place. And he's immediately overtaken by a lot of people. Into turn 1 we go. Claren holds the lead. Not contested by Mr. Sean. And in the back we see Too Fast trying to make a move around the outside of Spo. Not gonna work out now, or will it, as they make their way down to turn number 4. I think Too Fast lifts off slightly. Spo holds 3rd place, and everyone is going a bit wide, or not everyone, but a lot of people. Urk now back up to 4th place, and a couple of guys having a penalty. Flappy battling it out with Too Fast. Flappy trying to go around the outside of turn number 6 and 7. Now into the tight sector number 2. As ahead it is Mr. Sean with a half a second penalty and Spo with a 1.5 second penalty for track limits. I believe that Too Fast also had a 1.5 second penalty for track limits. Claren already pulling away from everyone else, not interested in all this fighting. Spo will be slowed down due to his penalty. Urk doesn't really want to wait, trying to take an alternative line through the final real corner. As you now get up to the main straight, or main bend it is really. Mercer might even be able to get past Spo. Yes, he will. Is he able to get 3rd place off Mr. Sean? I think he will. Down into turn number 1, braking nice and tidy, and it looks to be Mercer who gets 3rd place, and Spo actually also overtaking Mr. Sean in the process. Mr. Sean now down to 5th place. In the back, Too Fast has dropped down to last place, but already contesting with Low Power, already past Low Power now. Making their way down to turn number 4 is Tufas gonna send it on Mark GT. I think he is. Will he make the move stick? I think he will. Good move from Too Fast, as Mickey has a half-second penalty for track limits. Mercer has also been overtaken by Spo now. As Flappy has also overtaken Mr. Sean. So a lot of overtakes happening in the first couple of moments of this race. As in the back, I believe Low Power has already gotten the back past Too Fast now. And in front of Mark GT. Flappy and Mr. Sean really going at it also in the final braking zone. Mickey will slow down first penalty. Low Power will definitely gain a position from that. I'm not sure about the other two. As we now head on to lap number 3. And currently the fast lap is set by Urk, a 1:44.5. And that's the quickest lap overall so far. Geclaren did a 1:44.8, slightly slower than Urk, matching current paces now, as everyone else is somewhere in the realms of a 48 to 49. So a couple of seconds slower on the last lap. You can see Low Power already 1.3 seconds up only in the first sector, which isn't really much of a sector in my opinion. Trying to make a move on Mr. Sean, wanting to go down the inside. Mr. Sean defended very well. Not a real overtaking opportunity into turn 6, but hey, you might be able to pull it off. Geclaren is now already pulling so far away from everyone else. Urk is the second and then follows the rest of the pack. As Flappy now makes a move on Mr. Sean, and Low Power will slip through, and Low Power will say thank you very much. He's now up to 5th place with Mr. Sean and Flappy now duking it out and costing themselves both at least one position. And it might become more if they continue battling like this. Drag race up to the main bend between Too Fast and Mickey. I think Too Fast has won this one. Maybe Mickey is fuel saving a little bit. That's why he was a little slower. Too Fast and Mr. Sean and Flappy still going at it, and Flappy getting the move done before the braking zone of turn number 1, and Flappy is now up to 6th place. Meanwhile, the gap from the top 2 is growing more and more. Mr. Sean trying to get back into 6th position, a bit too far away for a dive bomb. And he will stay behind Flappy for the time being. Behind them it is Mickey and Too Fast also still going at it. Mickey getting past Too Fast again in the first sector, promoting him up back to 8th place, going defensive into turn number 8. And now the hairpin, one of the trickiest corners of the circuit, as in front it is Mr. Sean, who was having a look really on up the inside of Flappy, but actually didn't really get a great exit out of the hairpin. These two are just costing themselves more and more time. Still in the final corner, going at it. Mr. Sean trying to make a move around the outside. Not really gonna work out there. Tucking back into the slipstream. And he might be able to make a move Mercer is pitting already after lap number 4. So it is gonna be a definite 2-stopper for him if he can make that last. I think there's a bit more fuel saving needed for him to be able to make it to the end of the race on a 2-stop strategy. And changes tires. Speaking of tires, both compounds, both the softs and the mediums must be used. Mercer is on the softs, Mickey is on the medium, Marty was on the softs. Softs for Too Fast, softs, mediums for Mr. Sean, softs for Flappy, mediums for Law Power, mediums for Spo as well, softs for Ugg and softs for Claren for their first stint. And I believe that Mercer has switched to the medium compound of tire for his second stint. Mr. Sean has been overtaken by Too Fast on the last lap. So Too Fast getting a place up on Mr. Sean, and now Flappy might as well be under some pressure. Law Power is below 10% of fuel currently. Chasing down Spo. And Spo also under 10% of fuel. Both are gonna peel into the pits, I would assume. Yes, they would. And oh, Law Power making an overtake into the pit lane. Hopefully that won't give him a penalty of some sort for track limits or cutting the pit entry line. Yeah, that was really brave. Could get a collision there. Not really what you would want. And just look at the gap that Claren has pulled. He has got the fastest lap of the race, a 43.6, as he actually goes a little bit wide on the exit or entry to turn number 7. Too Fast making a move around the outside of Flappy for the final podium position, at least for now. Once the pit stops have settled out, it might be for a little bit lower position, but anyway, an overtake is an overtake. And I say it is a very good overtake in my books from Too Fast. Law Power has gotten in front of Spo, but Law Power has got a 1 second penalty for track limits entering the pit lane. And that will most likely see him fall back behind Spo anyway, once he has served that penalty of his. So the running order remains the same. Urk comes into the pit as well. And I must assume Too Fast, Flappy as well. Mr. Sean actually doing really good on his fuel, having 40% or something remaining, whilst everyone else is already peeling off into the pit lane because of their fuel. Mark GT also continuing on, also with a lot of fuel left, so it looks like these guys are definitely going for a one-stop strategy. And now is the question, will that be the quicker strategy? Because fuel saving does cost you some time, and it might not be worth the troubles. Claren tad low on fuel, is just barely above 10%. So I'm not sure if he's gonna make the one stop. It would be a really good performance if he does so. Urk comes out of the pits in 4th place, ahead of Spo and Law Power, and indeed Spo has gotten back in front of Law Power after Law Power served his penalty. Too Fast comes out behind the pair of them. There he is. And Flappy will come out as well behind. And Mickey actually getting back out just behind Mercer, as Claren comes into the pits, and I think that's a little bit too early for a one-stop race. Would be a very long stretch if he wants to make it to the finish line on 2 stints alone. And Mr. Sean still with 25% of fuel remaining. He can easily go another 2 laps. And Marchetti as well. I think Marchetti will also be able to do the same. Mr. Sean has now received first position. Marchetti now in second place. And McLaren almost on refueling. There he goes out of the pits on brand new medium tires. Not close enough to get third position, albeit for the time being. Spo setting a new personal best lap of a 1:43.8. Opau doing a 1:43.6. So only 2/10 faster than last lap. It's too fast behind, going a bit deep into turn number 1. Trying to carry the speed, not really working out. Compromises him for turn 2 and 3, and then also this back straight. Luckily he has no one in front or behind him to battle for immediate positions. The close one behind is this guy, Flappy, but he's too far away to be of any trouble. Urk is, I believe, slowly falling into the realms of Spo and low power. As we take a look at Mr. Sean, who I think will still carry on for another lap. And Marchetti as well, around the same fuel level, the two of them. There we see, yeah, not too far away, Urk from Spo and low power. And now, end of lap number 8. We are at the halfway stage of this race. And still we got 2 guys yet to pit. And a lot of strategy still on the line. Who does what? Not really that much action going on at the moment. A lot of people spaced out due to fuel saving and different strategies. Mr. Sean has dropped below 10% of fuel, so he will come in at the end of this lap. I think Marchetti, yes, there he is, also got below 10% of fuel, so he will follow in, or he will follow Mr. Sean in as well into the pit lane, and that will see them possibly done for the remainder of this race. And with well over 16, oh, excuse me, I'm having a lot of hiccups already today, so excuse me for that. With well over 16 minutes driven, and once they finally come out of the pits, only 13 minutes remaining, and they should be fine. McLaren has taken first place again. Urk takes second place just after he crosses the start-finish line. Spo now in third place with low power in fourth. Will be interesting to see whether or not they can stay in front, because they still need to make another pit stop, and Mr. Sean and Marchetti don't. Fast will be in front of Mr. Sean and Marky T. But yeah, he is full pit stop behind Flappy with a 1.5 second penalty, and Mickey and Mercer battling it out. 2-3 they go. Mickey attacking Mercer for 9th place. Now on to the back straight. Riding on board with Mickey. And not close enough to go for a move. He does close in a lot though in the braking zone. But opts not to go for a dive bomb. Now really getting closer and closer by the minute to Spo and Low Power. Spo actually almost at 0% of fuel. Indicates to the left. He pulls into the pit lane and has 0% of fuel remaining. That's really early for his second pit stop. I'm not sure if he's gonna make that last. He might though, and this could be a valuable undercut on Urk and Low Power if he manages to pull it off. Clarence still in front, but for how much longer? He also needs to make a pit stop, at least I would assume so. He was very early into the pits on his first for his first pit stop, and I don't personally think that he can make it to the end of the race. Too Fast has got himself up to 4th place, and Mr. Sean up to 5th, Marchi 6th. Flappy is now in 7th place and just in front of Spo, and Spo on soft tires, which he actually did not change. Interesting choice by Spo to not change his tires, thinking they can last the remainder of the race, and he's immediately on the back of Flappy. Flappy of course fuel saving a lot. Now down to turn number 6 and 7, and Flappy has been forced wide, and that gives the position to Spo. Flappy now down to 8th place, and Spo up to 7th. Mickey still behind Mercer, not able to find his way past. And Mercer will peel into the pit lane, so Mickey will get past Mercer again. Mercer doing a very great job of his second stint in terms of fuel saving. Low Power is nearly out of the pits. He is done refueling and he comes out. Will he come out in front of Spo? It's gonna be close. And there is Spo in the distance. So Low Power will come out behind Spo, and think a little bit further than he was on the previous, or just before they went into the pit lane. But interesting choice by Spo to not change his tires. Not sure if that will pay off. He is very close to the back of Marky Tito, and he might be looking for a move. Oh, really soon. I was gonna say looking for a move soon, but this was quite earlier than I was expecting. Luckily Marky T saw it coming and steered out of the way. Urk now also in with 0% left of his fuel. he should be fine till the end of the race. McLaren just behind Mercer. Mercer almost getting lapped at this point. Mr. Sean setting his personal best lap time of 1:45.3. Now back up to second place. McLaren last lap was a 1:46.5. So Mr. Sean currently, with his fuel saving shenanigans, is actually quicker than McLaren. Spo up to third, and Low Power is now up to fourth place. Down the inside into turn number 1 on Mark GT. Had the overspeed. Probably because Mark GT is fuel saving, and that fuel saving really hampers your top speed. And comes out now in 6th place. Just in front of Flappy and Mickey. Mickey might be looking at an overtake. I don't think he is gonna try one. Doesn't look like it. Stays behind Flappy for now. And Mercer getting blue flags. Wow, blue flags now. And going maybe a bit wide, but anyway, let's get McLaren through. McLaren now having lapped Mercer. Spo now under 50% left of his fuel. Is he gonna make it for the final couple of laps? Low Power receives a 1.5 second penalty for track limits, and that will do him no good in his battle for third place. Low Power is at 65% fuel, so about 20% higher fuel than Spo has, going deep into turn number 1. Mark GT shows us how it's done, takes a much better line. Also going slightly deep into turn 1. It is a difficult braking point to spot around here. As Flappy still being put under pressure by Mickey, and in the background Too Fast is still creeping in slower and slower. And this rate Too Fast might be able to overtake them even. McLaren is into the pit lane with only 5 minutes left on the clock, not having enough fuel, only 1% left in his tank, and this means that Mr. Sean will be up into the lead with 50% left in his tank. And only now McLaren gets into his pit stall. He does change his tires to what I would assume brand new soft tires, and is refueling, and Mr. Sean will quite possibly take the victory then. It's maybe a little bit too soon to call it. McLaren is done refueling, gone up to 60%, and Spo also comes into the pit lane with 25% left of his fuel, and that will promote Low Power up to 4th place. Also getting past Mark GT in the background. Now up to 4th place and Mark GT to 5th. So a bit of a strategic blunder from McLaren and Spo as well, pitting so late before the end of the race, not having enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. And Mickey being a locomotive right now. Flappy the first carriage, Too Fast the second one. Is one carriage gonna overtake the other or the locomotive? Not this time round. it stays in a train. Although Too Fast is looking feisty, and he's getting a great run out of turn number 5, down to or up more to turn 6 and 7. Side by side they go, leaving each other plenty of room. Now into turn 8, very tight corner, both still going at it. Turn 9, hairpin, still side by side, and it's costing them so much time. Look at the gap that Mickey has pulled already. They're still going side by side as they make their way down the circuit. Now down the hill, and is this finally it then? Too Fast is finally fully in front of Flappy. Final braking zone of the circuit. Will Flappy be able to fight back? I don't think so. Flappy fuel saving a little bit more than Too Fast is. At least that's what I'm assuming. Nice job done, Flappy. Yes, indeed, below 10% of fuel already. And still got 1 lap left to go. Doesn't opt to go into the pits. And it's gonna be very tight if he's gonna make it on his fuel. So last lap for almost everyone. I think Mr. Sean McLaren might make it for another tour around the circuit. So it's gonna be a close one. Spo has come out in 9th place. Not quite the 3rd place he was in before he made his pit stop. McLaren in 2nd place. I think he's too far away from Mr. Sean to do anything. Low Power in 3rd place. He is probably not gonna make it for another lap. He might be able to. McLaren and Mr. Sean, the top 2 now, are definitely gonna go for another tour. Let's see, Low Power is now coming out of the final real corner. McLaren even setting a new fastest lap of the race overall, a 1:43.4. And will Low Power be getting the checkered flag? It's going to be close. I think he will. And yes, he indeed. Low Power is the first one to finish, but not for 1st place. He finishes in 3rd place, final podium position. Urk will finish in 4th, very well done to him. Marty T on the 1 stop, getting 5th place, also great job. Mickey ultimately finishes in 6th place, just ahead of Too Fast. Mickey even running out just before the start-finish line. Spo will finish up in 8th place, and Flappy is crawling to the finish line with a half-second penalty as well. He might be in trouble for John Mercer behind, but I think Flappy will be just close enough. Yes, he will finish in 9th place, ahead of Mercer in 10th place. And that is Mr. Sean. He has put up a stunning performance, pulling out the one-stop strategy to perfection. And this means that Mr. Sean will win round number 3 ahead of McLaren. He finishes up in 2nd place, even with a new fastest lap, with even running out of fuel just before the line. Anyway, that was it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this race. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also, maybe leave a comment. Who do you think currently will take the championship? It's still Carbon who holds the championship lead, even while missing out on this race. So who knows? Maybe someone else can challenge him in the upcoming races. We'll have to wait and see. Until then, have a good one. I will see you later. Goodbye.